Hello, magical human, and welcome back to Madison Mindset, the podcast. I hope you are well. Everything's been going well for me. Thanks for asking. I've had quite the series of evolution. If you listen to the previous Monday episode, don't even know what number it is. I've had to move episodes around today, so I've got numbers in my head everywhere. But if you've listened to the previous episode, you will have heard about my basically like a breakdown, breakthrough, or unraveling and becoming. And it's an amazing journey, to continue evolving and your ideas evolving and dreams evolving and the way you want to do things evolving. It's such an interesting part of life and there's just no stopping it. So if you feel like you've been going through your own unraveling journey and or you feel as unraveling, or maybe you feel like you've recently had a becoming, highly recommend that episode because it will give you some clarity and give you permission to feel the way you feel. For this episode, we're going to be going into our July card reading, which I can't believe we're doing. It feels like I just did the June one 5 seconds ago, but here we go. I mentioned that June was going to be a month of awakening, and now that we're at the end of June, I can 100% say for me that it was so much growth, so much change, just so much. I feel like a completely different person. So if that happened for you as well, leave a comment on this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify or just wherever. If you're listening somewhere, leave a comment, send me a message. I'd love to hear about what you went through as well. So then we all feel like we're on this journey together. Am I right? Today, I'm going to be using an Oracle card deck that I've had for years. I love it. It's called the Elemental Oracle by Stacey, Demarco. I will put that below as well. Highly recommend it. It's pretty beautiful. It's got a pretty shiny cover. I love it. And I've always been surprised that it's purple. The cards are purple on the inside when I first opened it, I was like, they put the wrong cards in here. There's purple ones. Anyway, love that. Love the surprise. So I'm just going to begin shuffling the cards. Whoa, there's one and it's on the floor. Seriously, I very rarely actually pick Oracle cards out of a deck. They just fly out. It's unbelievable. My intuition as well the last month has been crazy spot on, like heaps of random things. And I've actually had like a few first experiences with audible intuition. You know how you just hear things that aren't actually there, or things like that. So strange, like hearing things that are happening elsewhere and they were later confirmed to have happened elsewhere, but they were nowhere near my ear range. It's just unbelievable, really interesting. So it just goes to show, the more you open yourself up, the more you awaken, the more you open to the possibility of growth, I seriously think the more comes to you, just you're so in tune with things. And, heightened intuition is said to be, a really great sign that you're on the right track, because you're really in tune with what's happening around you. I have to go and pick up that card that flew out of my head. And here it is. I'm back. Right. Okay. Let's do it. I'm going to lay out these cards in front of me right now. If you're watching the video, you're getting a little bit more of a show. If you're listening, we're practicing patience. Okay, very cool. So the first card is called East or Beginnings. Very beautiful. I am holding them up to the camera for those of us listening to the audio version. If you want to see the pictures, definitely recommend jump onto, you can switch your Spotify to the video version or jump on YouTube. Doesn't really matter though. That's not the point. Beginnings. I'm going to go through all these cards and then we're going to chat about them together. The second one is Hearth or Comfort. That card there. The third is the Sun or Light. And the final one that's popped up is the Equator. Let's chat about these cards. The first one, Beginnings. Keeping in mind that we've just had a month full of awakening, which can be quite an uncomfortable experience. So you may have found that June wasn't the most productive month for you. You may have found that you didn't make a lot of physical strides in what you were trying to do, because when you're going through an awakening, you're also going through deep challenge on a physical, emotional, and mental level. obviously spiritual level. So doing anything external really doesn't work so much as you might hope, because awakening is an inside job. All those challenges are an inside job. So what you've been doing is basically laying the groundwork, right? And this won't be the only awakening that we go through together, okay? So if you found June to be uncomfortable, painful, frustrating, everyone would have had different experiences with June. I had some moments of productivity, but the highlights of the month for me were coming out of an awakening, a transitioning process. So the first card, East or Beginnings. Now, remembering that East is where the sun rises. Okay, the sun rises in the East. So we've got two cards that look at the sun here. Now, the sun is linked to divine masculinity, or the energy of action, physical, doing something, taking action on these things. So there's definitely a great sign here that we're going to be able to do something in July. So the things that you've learnt, the things that you've overcome, the awakening that you have gone through is now going to be integrated into your work or into action, whether that's through communication, physical, business stuff, goal setting or achieving your dreams or creating something, whatever it is. There's really no limit here. Yeah, this is really going to be the time where you can take action on those things, which is really exciting, because the sun gives you the energy to do so. Last month was a very moon type energy, but there is a card here, the equator, to make equal. There is a picture in there that to me looks like the moon. It's also blue. It looks like magical stardust. It may not be the moon, but it definitely for me balances out this energy, because the equator means to make equal as well. Okay, so balancing out the awakening and the doing, the feminine and the masculine, the action and the rest, trying to bring balance to what's going on. So it's really exciting, all of this. And this card, the first one, meaning beginnings, meaning this is a great time to begin something new, okay? Or begin an old project in a new way, which is what resonates for me. I'm not necessarily doing anything new, but I'm definitely creating new ways of completing old dreams and old projects or things that are still relevant, so allow yourself to take the energy of beginning and allow yourself to reach for that masculine energy, because it's going to be there for you. You're going to be able to actually take action. There's going to be less resistance this month, which is really exciting. The second card is called Hearth, as in a fire in a home, really beautiful. Comfort. This to me is a great symbol of ease. You've gone through an awakening. This is where we have the rest, the calm. Okay, so you've got your breakdowns and breakthroughs, unraveling and becoming, periods of challenge, periods of blessings and quiet. Think of this as the opposite of last month. So all the challenges you may have gone through, allow yourself to have a period of settled energy where there's not really going to be anything else thrown at you on a divine level. Okay, we've all gone through collective awakening of June. We've all gone through things that were really big. Now we get this period of rest. That's not to say that you won't have any challenges in July, but it is to say that you're going to have more comfort. Okay, there's going to be inner comfort. Okay, is that to say that people around you aren't going to cause trouble or challenges, or things around you aren't going to get hard? Of course, it's still life we're talking about, right? But July in focus, there's going to be more comfort on an internal level, less unease. For me, when I go through awakening processes, what I find is I feel so uncomfortable on the inside, which is why I can't do anything on the outside. It feels like everything's in the air, and you're kind of waiting for everything to fall into place and you're wondering what's going on. So this is a great sign that it is going to be in place, that things are going to feel grounded and steady, which is your perfect point to take action. It's very hard to take action when you don't feel safe or secure, or like your feet are on the ground. How are you going to run in one direction if you feel like you're floating in midair? So this is a great month to be grounded and steady in your action. So I would really be looking at planning well, using this energy to your benefit. So make sure that you've got intention with where you're going. The other thing that masculine's really good at, which in June we had a lot of that feminine energy, one thing masculine's really good at is being intentional with what we're doing. Okay, so don't start the day with, what am I going to do today? I don't know. How am I going to float along today? Really get grounded. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing next. And a way I've kind of integrated this recently is started to do this thing that I've heard people do before. I'm not really sure where it comes from, but you can Google it. It's basically this idea of concentration, of working for 25 minutes and then having a 5-minute break, work for 25 minutes, have a 5-minute break, do that one more time and then have a 20 to 30-minute break and then start the cycle again. There's a few different ways to do that. It's not like you have to do it this way, but it's been really helpful for me to, have that alarm on and literally be on the clock. It's been really supportive. So I highly recommend giving that a try, seeing how you go and seeing if it helps. See if it helps your energy, your motivation, your ability to do what you want to do. Because, at the end of the day, things don't always go according to plan. Things don't always go as easy as we may want them to go. And sometimes you have to roll with that. Other times you've got to take the action yourself as well. You can't just sit around waiting for someone to push you to take action. That's your job. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you've got an energetic shift that's going to help you stay more on course with what's going on. Does that mean it's going to be easy? No. Does that mean you won't meet some resistance? Of course. This is on a global scale, okay? On a universal, everyone collective scale. It's going to look different for everyone. Some people are going to have it easier than others because your individual makeup is going to also have a factor, a role to play in all of this. So this is a great month to get those habits sorted, to change the things you need to change, to integrate things that you need to take steps in your life that's going to help you. The third card, as I said, sun, light. Focus on the light this month. Try not to let your attention turn to all the dark stuff that's happening, okay? Try not to get so consumed by the challenges or the stress or the bad things, try not to there's always going to be that stuff. But as the fourth card indicates, make it equal. Come back to balance, okay? Don't focus so much on the heavy stuff. It's going to be there. We can't change it. A lot of it, we can't change it. It's going to keep coming back. So try this month to, instead of getting so consumed by that darker, heavier energy, turn your face towards the light. For me, this very much feels like, instead of allowing myself to go down the rabbit hole of bad, dark, all these horrible things, instead turn your attention to the good things in your life, the bright things in your life, the happy things in your life. Focus there, okay? Remember, wherever your attention goes, energy flows, okay? So if you're focusing so much on the heavy, that's where your energy is going to go. If you're focusing on the lighter and you're balancing that out, that's where your energy is going to flow, towards the lighter side, towards balance. So definitely focus on that. But again, getting this card, the sun, again, is indicating once again, this is the time to take action. This is the time to do something. This is the time. The energy's got your back. You're not going to be fighting against the current. The final card, as I've brought up before, the equator, which is that, I'm no scientist, but I do believe that is the big line in the center of the world that's on every world map. I'm not going to go and tell you what the equator is. I've got a bit of an idea, but I'm not the person to explain what the equator is. If you don't know what the equator is, Google it and I'll join you after. But basically the main message here is to make equal, balance things out. So if you're having trouble taking action, you need to balance out the things that you have been doing. Okay, so if you've been doing a lot of beautiful rest, that's great. What's the balance side? What's something you can do that isn't completely opposite, the equally opposite thing that you can do? Find that thing or something like that that's healthy, not damaging in any way. So for example, if I've been sitting around a lot and haven't really been moving much, I can't be bothered, what's an equally opposite thing to do? Jump up and down on the spot, go for a run, do some dancing, go to a gym class. Do that. Try one of those things. That will bring your energy back to balance. If you've been too much on the go, 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 and you just have not been able to stop, what is the equally, I'm trying to say this, I feel like there's a scientific thing that I'm almost saying, but I don't mean to say that. What is the equal but completely opposite thing that you can do? Maybe lay down and read a book. Go outside and lay in the grass. There's so many answers. There's no one size fits all here. Okay, so if you've been really unorganized and just doing jobs as you feel like you want to, what's the opposite of that? Everyone has something that's out of balance right now. Okay, so I want you to look at everything that you're doing. If you feel like you're struggling to be productive, then you've probably got a lot of, quote, relaxing, but I want to also say, that lethargic energy, scrolling on Instagram and all that stuff. So just notice, what have I been stuck in doing? What am I doing the majority of the time? And see if you can find that complete opposite side of that. So you're finding your north, what's the south? If you're at east, what's west? Find your way back. You can see that if west is over here and east is over here, if you spend all your time in the west, label it what you want, personalize it to you, the way to balance it out is to walk towards the east. You don't have to go all the way over to this side. I'm not saying if you feel really lethargic, then you need to go over and be burnt out by working so hard. I'm saying take action that's more leaning towards that side so that you start to shift this way and they come together. Balance, right? We're trying to create balance as much as possible. And finding that balance is going to help you take the action. Because if you're out of balance, how are you then going to take action? It's not going to happen. It's going to be much harder for you. So you need to find the balance. And there might be a few different things here. There might be a few things. Say if you've been criticizing yourself a lot, what's the complete opposite of that? Compliment yourself, okay? You could really go into a really detailed look at your entire life. And I would use the whole month. Maybe a journaling prompt every day. Like, what was I stuck in doing today? What is the complete opposite of what I was doing today? How did I bring myself to balance today? Choose any of those prompts. Make up your own. That's fine. We're all making our way home to balance, okay? And it's completely normal that life knocks you off one side and knocks you off the other side. It's completely normal. I'm suggesting that perhaps find where you're out of balance. Do the complete opposite action or a action that equals the complete opposite to bring yourself back to balance. And you might be amazed how much that helps you go forward in July. Thank you so much for being here, Magical Human. I hope you enjoyed this card reading for July. I really did enjoy it myself. I'm looking forward to seeing what the month brings because June was definitely an interesting one. If you would like to support me in this podcast and you would like more content and more work with me, you can jump on to Patreon and join the Magical Human Support Space. Here, it's only $5 a month USD, right? Super awesome. It gives you a way to support me and this podcast because this is my job. So it really helps when you jump on and support me. And it also will give you the opportunity to have a bonus episode per month, a bonus practice episode, and journaling practice per month. You also have access to an entire archive of practices, extended affirmations, bonus episodes, coaching videos, all kinds of stuff, yoga practices. There's over 100 videos there that you can go and look at, heaps of different audios. Go and check it out. I would really appreciate the support. I appreciate you deeply, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love.